I thought we were making turkey sandwiches today.
I don't think I can eat roasted turkey again, but I have all the ingredients in the pantry to make pho. Do you want to try doing that? 1.5 hours later, we have a brand new meal made from leftovers. Today, we're just gonna make do with what we have so we don't have to keep eating microwave turkey over and over again. By the second day, I just want my Vietnamese food. I want something brothy, something comforting and delicious. So I have all the basic ingredients that we would use for a chicken pho. I have a huge chunk of turkey breast left and a few pieces of wings, but also all the familiar pho spices. So the beginning of every pho broth starts with charred ginger and charred onion. I used to also do this in the air fryer. I didn't like it as much. I find that it just steams. Even when we didn't have a gas stove, I used to take a hot pot burner and do it over that. So the next thing we're gonna do is roast all the spices on a pan. So we have star anise, coriander seeds, cinnamon, black cardamom, fennel seeds, and some cloves. And I tried these pho cubes the last time I made pho. I quite like them, so I'm adding them to my broth as well. I have some rock sugar, which is gonna give a very subtle sweetness to our broth. Some aromatics, which will include ginger, yellow onion for charring, red onion for garnishing, cilantro, and green onions. And typically we would have Thai basil, sawtooth herb, and bean sprouts to go with it as well. But like I mentioned, I'm not going outside today, so we're just gonna eat what we have.
Resourceful pho cooking.
Yeah, even you can do it.
We'll see.
And we do this to awaken the spices. Even if you're cooking Indian food, they also like to roast their masalas and spices before cooking to open up the fragrance. So if you take a look at some of the fennel seeds, you can see that it's starting to turn a light golden brown. That's when you know it's almost time to stop. I'm going to be putting this into a empty tea bag. If you have one of those mesh balls, that's even better. Or you can dump it directly into the broth as well. You're gonna have to strain your broth after. I wanna do as little work as possible today, so I'll just front load my responsibilities now. And just like that, you have your very own pho spice pack. You know, they do sell this in the grocery store too, but it's not toasted. So it's gonna be a little bit more stale. Aromatics are in, our spices are in. You can see that it's coming to a light simmer. So some scum and impurities are gonna start to come out of the bones. And just be careful not to let this come to too rapid of a boil. All the scum and impurities is just gonna burst and go into your broth. Like I said, you want a clear broth because that's a flex. If you're gonna serve this to your mother-in-law, that's the first thing they're gonna look at. So do the work.
You will be judged.
Yes. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. Our turkey's already seasoned, so you don't wanna add too much. I'm putting in the pho cubes and our rock sugar. So I've been watching this, hoping to show you guys how to skim this, but actually not a lot of foam has come out. I guess it's because we're starting with the cooked turkey meat instead of raw. So not a lot of impurities are coming out, but that's okay. That's a good thing. So let's let this go for another hour at a low simmer, and we'll come back to check on it later on. Let's prepare our garnishes. I have some green onions here. My green onions are looking a little bit sad. Like I said, I'm just using whatever's in the fridge. I'm keeping it 100% real with you guys today. Let's chop this up into small pieces. And don't throw these white parts away, okay? We're gonna be putting this back into the broth and it's gonna give it a nice flavor. Look at this beautiful plate of garnishes that's gonna go on top of our turkey pho. So I've taken the turkey breast out and I've let it cool a little bit. So now we'll just debone it and slice it. I've never done this actually, so gonna see how we go about this.
Do you think this would be better with a raw turkey instead of one that's already been roasted?
Is it my first choice to use already cooked meat? No. But we're making the best of the situation. And this is why I'm not a huge fan of that viral Costco pho trend that's going around. I'm not down for that. When you eat that Costco rotisserie chicken, and no hate against the Costco rotisserie chicken, that chicken saved my butt numerous times. It's already very ba, which is Vietnamese for mushy. So imagine poaching that for another hour in broth because you're trying to extract the flavor. It's gonna give you meat that's fall apart. And I don't want that. I actually think for the same effort, if you use a raw chicken, you'll get better results. I guess we'll be looking for the grain and we'll slice it against the grain. Wait, where is it again? No, here. This meat is a little bit drier than chicken, so let's slice it really thin.
Yeah, that's always the complaint with turkey. It's typically dry and you need to drown it in gravy to really get that flavor I think that people enjoy eating.
I don't think we use turkey in Vietnamese cuisine at all. Actually, do you know what turkey's called in Vietnamese?
No.
Gà Tây, Western chicken. Do you know what free-range chicken is typically called?
No, what is it?
Gà Ta. I don't know if you know what that means, but it means our chicken. So you see the differentiation between Western chicken and our chicken? That goes to show, like, we really don't want to associate ourselves with this bird. There ain't no DEI in Vietnamese language. When I tasted the broth, to be honest, for a bird that was already cooked, it gave us a pretty sweet broth too, you'll see. So let's bring some water to a boil for our noodles. Oops, I didn't secure my tea bag properly, which is why I'm now straining my broth. At this point, you want to start to season the broth to your taste. I like to add fish sauce and chicken bouillon, if you know what's up. Now let's bring this bad boy up to a rapid boil so we can start to assemble our bowls. Reheat a bit of noodles in the microwave and let's add our protein. A few nice slices of turkey, some red onion, green onion, and cilantro. And we're ready to roll. Now let's ladle this liquid gold into our bowls and fill her up. Oh my God, look at that. Could anything be better? Well, 1.5 hours later, we have a brand new meal made from leftovers.
This is amazing. I would have no idea if this was like a pho that you spent all day on versus one that you made just this afternoon.
Okay, well, let's give it a try.
Soup is so flavorful.
It's so sweet, right?
Yeah.
I've never done this before. I wasn't sure that we can get the same sweetness out of poultry that was already cooked, but honestly, like, it's just as good.
Since you're poaching it and eating it in a soup, it's actually quite moist.
I'm just happy because, you know, after so much rich holiday food, right? Like, I just want to go back to the basics. Like, I just want something brothy, something clean, something that makes me feel somewhat healthy. And this is really hitting the spot. With the frigid weather outside as well, like, this is a dream. I can just change into my pajamas, go back to bed, and watch Home Alone.
This is probably the best dish you can make with leftover turkey, no doubt. I can't imagine anything tasting better than this.
So I hope you guys get a chance to try this holiday season. If you're sick and tired of eating turkey sandwiches and leftover turkey, give this a try. You're gonna love it.
Turkey pho for the win.
Bye.